año pasado yo tuve un internship o capacitación en Frito-Lay aquí en Dallas y yo tenía que hablar con hablantes nativos de español para mi trabajo y usé el español cada semana y estoy cierto que mis habilidades de hablar en español me ayudó a conseguir el trabajo de tiempo completo que tengo hoy en día. En julio empezaré mi trabajo de tiempo completo con Frito-Lay en Oklahoma y estoy cierto que hablar los dos idiomas es crucial para conseguir un trabajo como así en los negocios de hoy en día, especialmente en Texas y Oklahoma y los otros estados del sur. Y creo que el título como major en español y la experiencia de mi escuelita me ayudaron tanto durante el proceso de entrevistas. Durante el proceso de entrevistas para conseguir capacitaciones y trabajos de tiempo completo, los que hacen las entrevistas están buscando algunos estudiantes de la universidad que pueden hablar inglés y español y estudiantes que tengan experiencia como en mi escuelita. Mi escuelita was my senior service site. It's a bilingual preschool in Dallas. Y creo que también es muy importante ver programas y escuchar podcasts en español para mejorar las habilidades afuera de la clase. Y algunos que yo recomiendo son El Chapo en Netflix, Narcos en Netflix, Casa de Papel en Netflix y podcasts como Nómadas de Radio Nacional Español. Y las actividades que me ayudaron en Jesuit fueron National Spanish Honor Society y my senior service site at mi escuelita.
So you mentioned that you listen to podcasts in Spanish. How much did that help you learn versus go to classes?
I'd say they complement each other. You can't just go to classes or just listen to podcasts to learn the language. You have to learn it in class and actually apply it to listening outside of class. And so I think a good combination of going to classes and learning the grammar, and then actually exposing yourself to the grammar outside of class in like a real context, like a TV show or a podcast, it's very important because they do complement each other, and they are the combination of Spanish media outside of class and learning Spanish in class. It's greater than the sum of its parts, and so you get a lot more out of Spanish classes if you apply it on your own time as well.
How long have you been studying Spanish?
What was that?
How long have you been studying Spanish?
I've been studying Spanish since middle school, so. I went to Christ the King. Any CKS people in here? One? All right. So I took Spanish 1, 2 honors, 3 honors, and 4 honors here at Jesuit. I think it's very important if you're going to take Spanish in college to take a Spanish class senior year, just so you don't lose an entire year of practice. But I also took what's called a CLEP test. It's done by the same people that do the SAT, and you basically take this test. You can take it at, I think, really any community college, really whenever you want, and it's only about an hour, and you can get up to 13 credit hours going into college in just an hour of taking this test. And I felt that the Spanish classes at Jesuit really do prepare you well for that. So if you get a high enough score, you can start college a semester ahead. So the first 3 classes are what you place out of, depending on the university and the score on the CLEP. So I placed out of 13 hours, which was the first 3 classes. 2 of them are 5 hours, and one is a 3-hour class. And so then you pretty much, if you're going to study Spanish in college, you might have 1 or 2 more like learning Spanish grammar classes. And after that, the classes get really specialized, so you get to study like what you're interested in. Like if you're interested in business, like I took a business Spanish class. If you want to go into medicine, I took a Spanish for medical professions class. Yeah.
Is it really is it a big thing to have to know Spanish if you said if you went in the industry?
Oh, definitely.
So it's a big thing that the community between tests and I kind of have to do it.
Definitely. I mean, you don't have to, but it definitely helps you get interviews and helps you actually perform on the job, because people did notice. I didn't expect to have to speak Spanish during my internship last summer, but I ended up speaking Spanish and opening up a lot of doors that otherwise would not have been open, and managed to impress a few of the right people, which really does go a long way. And so even though it might not be obvious that, I think it should be obvious that Spanish will help you in your career, but even though it might not be obvious, it really does, especially considering the growing number of Spanish speakers in the United States. I think every year Spanish is going to continue to be a more and more important language to learn, and I think it's a great way to separate yourself from other applicants as being bilingual. Go ahead.
When did you decide you wanted to, pursue Spanish?
Well, I knew I wanted to at least minor in it in college, and because I didn't know if I'd be able to double major and still graduate in 4 years. But then, once I found out that I could do that, I was, for sure I want to pursue a Spanish major as well. So I'm in a sales management position, and over the summer in the internship, I start work in July, so I haven't started that job yet, but over the internship I had a sales internship at Frito-Lay, and basically my job was to go out and recruit new customers to participate in a Frito-Lay distribution program. And there are a lot of untapped opportunities, especially in the Dallas area, of small business owners that own small businesses in the Dallas area, and they speak Spanish as their first language, and because of that they haven't been able to get in touch with distributors, and they might not be using a big distributor like Frito-Lay or Pepsi or Coke or something like that, because they're a small business, and there aren't necessarily people in a lot of distributors that are willing to, or even able to, send Spanish speakers out to small businesses in order to build a relatively small business relationship. So I felt like that's where I was able to excel, because I could be the person to go talk to small business owners about participating in a distribution program that they might not have otherwise have heard about. Like music artists? I don't know. I mean, I do. I just don't. I don't necessarily have a favorite. Bad Bunny's good, yeah. I have, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of short. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen Kyler Murray and like Baker Mayfield around, so.
What was your favorite class or Spanish class that you took?
I would say history of the Spanish language would be my favorite class. It's a lot of looking at how Latin shifted into, what we know today as modern Spanish, which is a very interesting history and process.
Anything else that you'd like to share?
No, that's all. Thank you all.